Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm gonna be starting a whole new chapter of tutorials in which you see I've already made two drawings which I'm very sorry I didn't make a tutorial on. First of all, this Itadori drawing, and second of all, this Kaneki drawing. So yeah, today's drawing is gonna be much like them but on a gojo version. So you see, we are starting a signature mark of mine in which I add these weird lines in the corners and they look like particles are going up. So without any hesitation, let's start off today's tutorials. You see, it's kind of hard for me to make the tutorials without making the border lines and the baselines, but that would have just confused the beginners. So I decided to make a full rough sketch and then just erase it, and just so you guys don't get too much, you don't think that I am using that sketch as a reference, and I just erased it a bit too much, so it's easier for beginners to understand. However, it would be hard for me. So you know what? Let's just forget about that and let's get started. Starting off with the mouth. Let me zoom in so you guys can see easily and overall learn much. Okay, before you start so you see, you gotta make the mouth like starting off from here, and then there's just a curve like this, and then there's a big curve like this, and then there's a detail line just to add a bit of extra of a detail on his coat, and this just adds some texture. Then we go up for the mouth like this, the technical jujitsu kaisen type lines like this. Then we just have this curve like this over here, and then we make it go all the way up over here, and the same thing we do on the other side. We make a curve and then we make it go all over. Then we from it doesn't end here but sort of close to that. From this curve we start and make it go down over here, and we do the same thing over here for the neck. Now let's zoom out to see what we made. We have just made the gojo's face or his jawline, for instance. Let's start extending the code from over here and make a line like this and leave it untouched for now. Then complete this line all the way down over here, and then make complete this side of the code by making this line like this, and then make a huge curve like this. And do you see? There we go. I hope you guys understand. Now is where comes the hard part. So we have to make a hand that he's holding his eye, he's posing his eye, he holds his he's he's covering the thing that's covering his eye, he's mask upwards. So here's how to do it. Just follow along, okay? I can do it, but just so you guys understand, just follow along me and do what I'm telling you. Make a U V shape like this. Make it go downwards. Make a weird shape like this over here. Make this area a bit of thick and then converge it and make a smooth transition to thin. Make start of this area using making it thin. Go all the way up over here and make a shape something like this. Then add one finger like this. Add another one like this. Then add another thing like this. Then add another finger over here like this. Then add another finger over here. This is that the finger that's actually holding it up, so it's gonna be like this. And for good measure you have to end this finger right over here, and this part of the cloth, it just goes over here, and we have made it. He is lifting up the thing. So I have made it simple for beginners to understand. But if any pros are out there, I'm sorry. I know I didn't explain it too well, but I mean, I didn't explain it at all, but it's for the beginners. Beginners can't understand complex things like breaking down hands and stuff. For them, just for beginners, just do what I did. Try to mimic my moves, and if you can't mimic them, then I would really prefer that you go watch a video of Draw Like a Sir, or that will be teaching you how to draw, you know, hands. And the way you do this area, I didn't explain, sorry. You just make like a curve like this, then a little curve, a bigger curve, and the biggest curve to end it all off, and a triangle shape over here. Finally, make some area of contention over here where his clothes falling off. There we go. Finally, let's start on his mouth. Man, it's hard to draw without, the basic lines. I never noticed that. Nose, just a little piece separating this line, and two small V's like this. Finally, the eyes. This is how you do his eyes. Make something like this, and then some random eyebrow pieces over here for the round part of the eye. Make it something like this, and then a circle in it. So we've got these typical gojo eyes. Make them face downwards. Add a bit circle up here, and make a dark shade over here, this part of the eye, and on this part cover it in with a lighter shade. So we've got this, a sketch of gojo, but we haven't completed the hair, so let me just explain the hair. The hair are like this: upwards, inwards, upwards, inwards, upwards, inwards, and rinse and repeat. So I know you can do that. Even the best of beginners can do that. Even a noob of drawing can do that. That's so easy. Upwards, inwards, upwards, inwards, upwards, 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 inwards. Simple, easy as pie. And we've done that just like that. Now for the ears, uh, make a triangle like this, a line coming off the triangle, and you see like this. Make a triangle like this, a line, and finally connecting the triangle to here. It's easy as pie, man. And there we go, we got over Gojo, except for the fact that he looks too empty. Make a line over here, okay? It's not what will fit him from being empty, but something I know can. It's a thing called shading. So I can't explain it for beginners again and again, okay? Go watch my other videos about shading. For now, just know it's basically copying a color through its darkness. Let me get an example over here. This part of Itadori's coat was actually red, but a very dark red. So we mimicked it by making it dark red, and his skin was light, so we mimicked it using lighter color. That was the easiest and the cheapest I can do. By the way, let's start off. Let's start off by here. Here to here. This is a very dark area. Cover it in using this one. This is a lighter area, but still dark enough for this color. This shade will be pretty good. Fill it in. This area is here, very dark. Fill it in. This area over here, sort of dark. Use this sort of shade for it. This area over here, not extreme dark, but still like a bit more of this sort of shade. I think I'm boring you guys doing this, but You know what? I'm doing this tutorial for beginners. They can't understand everything. They have you have to make compromises. Okay, all for all the pros out there, just please bear for some time. And finally, making this shade mimic a very light shade for this area. Uh, or a fairly dark shade for this area. A very precisely light shade for this area, just a bit darker than this. A very tiny amount of darkness and leave the teeth like they are. Okay, don't touch the teeth. Smudge in. And we've got this for now. Oh my god, I just lost my pencil over here. I wonder how it got there. At this sort of shade. Smudge. Complete darkness in here, but this area. You see, this is where these lines come in. This is where we use these lines. First fill in the area, then I'm gonna explain what was the use of these lights. Under these lines, make the area darker for some cool shading and stuff I don't understand. And some area under here, make it light. Finally, stop the hair. Make a bunch of random pieces for detail. And a rough shade, fill it in using smudge. And there we have it, gojo. Except for just one thing. He's just missing that one thing. I wonder what it can be. Okay, I'm just being clear. You see, every single one of my drawing has these weird type of things coming from it. So this is just my signature move from here. Let's sign this. Ooh. Now, to add these, if you guys want, I know most people don't want this type of stuff on their drawing, but if someone wants, this is how you do it. Random lines, random lines. You smudge in the random lines. Oh, I forgot this over here. Okay. Even more random lines, making this area even more. And finally, a very dark random lines. And there we have it. A good old fashioned drawing of Gojo. There you guys go. I'm gonna add more to these type of drawing videos, but for now The one tutorial will do. By the way, do you guys want tutorials on these drawings? Do tell me down in the comments. I can make tutorials, like they are not that different. They are just the same as Gojo, but just with a bit more detail. I'm gonna make them if you want. It's easy. By the way, one shortcut. So for a cool transition, here's a shortcut for that. To those who are wondering what I did, I just made all the shades a bit darker. If you want that, just make the cloth shades a bit darker and it's gonna look as good as this. Bye bye.